are live. Hello, everybody. It is Scott.
Hey,
And
hey. I thought I was supposed to do hey, it's Larry.
I don't know. We don't know what we're doing with the intro for this. So do your thing.
All right, that's Scott. Hey, it's Larry.
And today we are doing something super fun. We are doing the first episode of the Totally Rad Movie Podcast. What is the Totally Rad Movie Podcast, you say? It was a little idea Larry and I concocted one day when we realized that there is a ton of awesome 80s movies that either myself or Larry have not seen or have not seen in a very long time. And we thought, wouldn't it be great to go back and rewatch those movies and let's talk about them? You know, get a little kick of nostalgia here. So, Larry, we did set a couple of rules about the movies that we're going to go over. What are the rules that we have set?
Yeah, so tentative rules for the Totally Rad Movie Podcast is we're going to try to watch movies that are from like 1980 to 1995. That's going to be our core. But we've already decided there can be exceptions, right?
There's a few movies that were like, oh, we want to watch this. And it wasn't within those rules. So we're like, well, all right, well, maybe we'll go check it out. I was thinking like Demolition Man or like Independence Day, I think are outside of our range.
I was going the other way. Like the first one I thought it was Jaws because I've never seen Jaws.
1970s. Yes. So we have decided to go through, and we had an unwilling selection of our first movie that we went through because on one of our recent podcasts, Jeremy had let everyone know that he absolutely despises the movie Top Gun.
Yeah. Well, we were talking about the Top Gun Maverick trailer that dropped at San Diego Comic-Con.
Yeah. And Jeremy was not enthused.
No, we realized I had never seen it, and Jeremy apparently hates this movie. And it kind of like I was sitting here in this very chair thinking, I've never seen this movie. Like, I should probably watch it. And then since I feel like part of having a podcast is you spend most of your time sitting around thinking about other ideas for other podcasts. And I'm like, I've actually been thinking about this for a while because there's a lot of 80s movies that I haven't seen. And I'm like, dude, we should just do like an 80s movie podcast. And Scott was like, yeah, let's do an 80s movie podcast. And then we got a domain, we got a name, we made images, and here we are doing the Totally Rad Movie Podcast.
And Jeremy, for you, we are starting episode 1 with your favorite film, released on May 16th, 1986. The movie that launched Tom Cruise to stardom, I would argue, Top Gun. So let's go. Just Larry, do we want to do rankings right now? Do you want to jump in and kind of do the rankings now, or did we want to kind of go over a couple of points here?
Let's talk a little bit, and then
all right,
then we'll jump into our rankings.
Let's do it. So
you had seen it before, but I had never seen it. Like obviously, I know what Top Gun is. It's a movie about those Air Force guys. But it turns out they're not Air Force guys; they're Navy pilots.
That's the one that jumps. Everyone gets. It's like the Air Force guys. I'm like, no, they're on a boat. Navy. That's Navy.
Yeah, I didn't know. So that was the first thing I learned is like it wasn't at all what I thought it was going to be. So that was fun. How about is it like I don't know, man. It wasn't that good.
Yeah. So I will
point.
Jeremy's point. What I'm about to say is going to make a couple of my friends a little angry because I know I have quite a few friends that do enjoy the movie. I loved it when I was a kid. Rewatching it as an adult, I'm like, wow, I do not really enjoy this anymore.
What's up with like all the dudes taking their shirts off every 5 minutes?
So that's the other thing too, is like this movie is definitely aimed towards guys. I mean, it's one step away from a military recruitment movie. Like it's So was it like, oh, they're going to be bringing their girlfriends? We better have shirtless Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise playing volleyball.
Yeah. I
Like,
don't know. Like that's the one scene that like stands out to me. Again, never have seen this movie. Like I knew there was a volleyball scene. The scene I didn't realize was in this was like that Ice Cube scene with Tom Cruise and what Kelly McGillis, is that her last name?
Yeah. Ooh, geez, everyone's gonna get mad at us. We didn't. We prepared Kelly McGillis.
Yeah. See, nope, nailed it.
Yeah.
Shut up.
I totally didn't go to IMDb to look it up right now.
Yeah, like I didn't realize that scene was from this movie. I feel like that's a pretty iconic scene too.
Yeah, so I think this was the whole originator of the sex from the with the kitchen using food in a movie trope, and tons of movies have since replicated or kind of spoofed that in some way, shape, or form for their sex scene. That was like surprisingly at the mid '80s. There's a ton of like future movies I think really stole the kind of the thunder for a lot of this. Like the Macho Man does some really cool, has like a really cool job and gets the girl,
Yeah. Oh yeah. He's total arrogant, like jerk. Both of them. Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise, man.
Val Kilmer is just an asshole, but it's actually at the time, like watching it, I really was like, I'm pretty sure that's just how Val Kilmer is.
Yeah.
Like it just for like he's probably not that way now, but back in the '80s, you're like, dude, that's him. Like
he can't talk anymore, so yeah. I'm pretty sure he's humbled a little bit. But yeah, he's a great actor, right? He's in some really good movies. He was Batman, even.
He was, yeah.
He didn't get much bigger in the '80s than Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise.
Yeah, and having them both here, like that, this was a big blockbuster for the time. I didn't realize looking at it. I think it was like the top grossing movie of the year for 1986. So I mean, it made some money back in the day.
Yeah, that's pretty crazy. Like I guess it's like one of the main action movies of the '80s. Like, what do you consider an action movie?
I really don't. So it's mostly a drama with some jets thrown in there. The only real action is at the very beginning, where he flips off the other.
He goes upside down.
He goes upside down and flips off the pilot. So he has that one, and then there's like a couple like mini dogfights when they're in school, and then they graduate, and then there's the final action scene. So yeah, I would not consider this an action movie. It's a drama. Like it's a drama with jets.
Yeah, I agree. It wasn't what I was expecting. I don't know what I thought, but like, there's not even like, who's the bad guy? It's Val. Like at first, it's kind of Val Kilmer against Tom Cruise, but then that kind of fades away, and like Goose dies. Spoilers.
Yeah.
Right. Goose dies. Tom Cruise gets all emo. He falls in love. Gets even more emo. Like, and then
men's bad boy ways. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. He overcomes adversity.
Of being a dick,
to save the guy who is, I guess, his enemy. It was a weird movie. Like nothing at all like what I again. I don't know what I expected, but it wasn't what I thought at all.
Yeah, I would say that Tom Cruise is his own enemy in that movie. He is the both the protagonist and the antagonist of the film. Yeah. So, do you want to hear kind of a fun fact that I learned about this movie, though, that I find interesting?
What do you got? So, fun facts with Scott.
Fun facts with Scott about the movie. Tom Cruise is like 4 inches shorter than Kelly McGillis. So he had to wear platform shoes throughout all their scenes together to like put them on an even playing field, because they thought it'd be weird for the male lead to be shorter than the female lead.
Yeah, I think I've heard that about Tom Cruise before. Right? He's a little guy.
He's a little guy, and apparently, if you put somebody that's 5'10" next to him, it is very noticeable. So yeah, so Tom Cruise, through a major portion of it, is wearing platform shoes or shot at an angle in which it makes their heights look the same.
So what did you think about the special effects? Like, did it hold up well? Like most of the special effects are kind of the airplane scenes, right?
The airplane scene. So the special effects, I mean, for the most part, the one good thing this movie had going for it is they actually had the Navy involved.
Yeah, I saw that at the end. There was a long old list of officers and stuff who helped. That was cool.
Yeah, and they had legit like Tomcat pilots that were the ones like actually flying the planes and doing a lot of the scenes when they're in the air, which I thought was kind of cool because it's not really a special effect for a large portion of the the movie. Those planes flying are a legit plane flying until they blow up the MiGs right at the end when they're blowing up those.
That was a little cheesy.
Those are a little cheesy. That was total 80s like blow up the model thing.
Did you notice like the missiles looked fine, like you said, once they actually hit the other planes, like that looked super fake. But like when they shot their guns, it did this weird like laser, like white lasers at them, and it made kind of a pew 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 sound. It didn't sound like a gun at all. I'm like, ooh, that was kind of.
I think when they're up in the air and they fired the guns, they're probably like, ooh, that doesn't make a really good like sound. And yeah, I mean,
they weren't even firing guns, right? They just went and did After Effects.
And so they're like,
what do machine guns sound like on a plane? And the other guy was like,
pew pew. Yeah, he's like pew pew, and like, well, we can't really see bullets, and they're like, and the tracer rounds just flash really quick. He's like, no, just make little laser beam things. Every like fourth bullet is a laser, apparently.
Right. He's like, the guy was like, I saw Star Wars. I know what the stormtroopers' guns look like when they shoot their blaster,
and what they kind of sound like.
Yeah, we're just gonna pretend they're stormtrooper airplanes.
Yeah. Right. Pew pew pew. Yeah. That was cool. The one thing I noticed too is apparently they only were able to get the Navy to fire off 2 missiles from the planes. Oh. So what they did is they filmed it with like planes all around from like multiple angles.
Oh, okay.
So I always notice the plane isn't, every time he launches a missile, they're in like the same like position.
Yeah.
And it's like missile goes off. Like it's
yeah. All right.
There is not a
now that you mentioned that
very dynamic scene of them shooting missiles though. Like it looks good, but you can tell it's the same scene.
Yeah. Now that you mention it, that those scenes did look a little familiar.
Yeah. One would be like from the top of the plane, and the next is from the bottom of the plane. Like, that was something that I never noticed as a kid, but rewatching, I was like, I'm pretty sure that was the same. Like, did they just recycle that shot?
Yeah, that's crazy. I get it, right? Those missiles aren't free.
Yeah,
somebody's paying for them.
Right. So there's a recent chat thing here I'm going to throw up on the screen, Larry, because I think you're going to enjoy this. From the inspiration for choosing Top Gun, Jeremy.
It sucks.
It sucks. Yeah, it was not as good as I remember, and it was like full of 80s cheese. Like Val Kilmer was the asshole, but he had his asshole best friend. Like
even bigger,
yeah. Right?
Especially during that volleyball scene, right?
I don't know the volleyball scene, and when they're at the bar and they first like meet up with him, and Iceman's not there, and he's like, you already know who's the best, right? Like
Iceman. Do you remember like kids? I remember like kids on the playground and stuff calling each other Iceman. Like this movie was I knew why. Like I got it, but like again, like I was like 5 or 6. I didn't see this movie. But like this Top Gun was a thing, man. Iceman was cool.
Yeah, no, that was like it was awesome to give yourself like a call sign back in the day. Like this movie popularized like teenagers and like below. That it was the nickname craze.
It was that's right. So the main show. STS Guys podcast. We're going to do episode 98 tomorrow. So I've podcasted for almost like 100 times now, give or take. We don't really do notes. I took notes for this one, and I didn't tell you about this. One of my notes was, I'm going to ask you, if you got to pick your own call sign nickname thing, what would you pick? Because they have Maverick, Hollywood, that was a good one, Goose, Gemini, I think, or something like that.
So there's so Merlin, who I didn't realize.
That was it.
I didn't realize
Tim Robbins.
Tim Robbins.
Yeah, that was awesome.
I did not remember that Tim Robbins was Merlin, because you don't like ever really see him sans like the mask.
Yeah,
Except for like
only
once.
at the end when they're celebrating. Yeah, I had to rewind it. I'm like, I think that's Tim Robbins. Totally.
Right? Yeah.
Oh,
Tim Robbins playing Merlin.
Speaking of Tim Robbins, another movie that I've never seen, Shawshank Redemption. Just throwing that out.
Yeah. So that's going on the list.
But anyway,
so
if you had to pick your Top Gun Navy pilot, the best of the best nickname, what would would they call you, Scott? I'm putting you on the spot. I'll tell you mine.
Okay, go with yours.
For whatever reason, I decided driving home from work today that I should be called Cookie.
Cookie. All right.
Cookie.
That works for me. I thought we were going call signs, not stripper names, but all right, I guess we'll.
Isn't it kind of the same thing?
It is. This is like, welcome to the stage.
Ladies.
Yeah, it's like male stripper names. I think I would be like werewolf. I think just because of the fur that just continues to grow and just everything. Yeah, werewolf.
Blumpkin. Jeremy says his call sign name would be Blumpkin. Throw that up on the screen there.
I'm throwing it up on the screen to show that.
If you're listening to the audio version of this podcast, we are recording this live on YouTube.
Yes.
No set day or time as of today, but we'll figure that out. Stay tuned.
Yeah, we're doing this kind of as we finish these movies that we go through, because we do have a very big list. So
but the important thing is, we just decided we were going to do this like 2 weeks ago, and we're already live.
Yeah, we're doing this, baby.
I think we should rank it. What do you think?
Yeah, so no, okay. I don't want to rank it quite yet, because we talked about something. You know how we always like to have just like the one set section. So I have a set section. I have a set section for the show here.
What do you got?
All right. So we're going to go with your most totally rad moment of the movie. And I want to go the most totally bogus moment of the movie. So what was the thing that you thought was the coolest, and what sucked the most? So let's go. What are yours?
So my totally rad moment from Top Gun. I'm going to. No, I can't do the beach volleyball scene. The ending was good. When they're flying around and the two jets are somehow evading the 5 other enemy jets for an insane amount of time. But that part was kind of cool. Like the effects on the flying and all that, the way it kind of spun the camera around to show you how they were turning or going upside down. Like, I really appreciated how that scene was filmed. So my totally rad moment was kind of a cop out. It's the ending.
You like the final action fight sequence thing?
The climax, whatever you want to call it. How about you, man? What was the totally rad moment for Scott?
I already mentioned the totally rad moment. The thing that I love about the movie, gets me every time, is within like the top part of the movie. It's where he inverts itself and he gets a couple feet away from the other plane and flips it off, and they take the Polaroid picture of the other pilot.
Yeah, that was that was good.
I thought that was the
so
cool
80s.
It was so 80s, but it was like, it makes you be like, oh, these guys are so awesome. Yeah.
He took a picture on a Polaroid upside down.
Yeah, that's sick, bro. So yeah, that is probably, I think, the part that I to this day, like, I loved it as a kid and I love that part now.
It's funny, yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Larry. So totally bogus moment from Top Gun. I just gotta say, you've lost that love and feeling.
Okay, we have to talk about that scene.
Yes, we do. The bar scene where, to woo Kelly McGillis, Tom Cruise walks up with Goose and starts singing. Is it a classic song?
It is. I mean, it was a classic at the time. You've lost that love and feeling.
You've lost that love and feeling. All the songs in the world, he sings "You've Lost That Love and Feeling."
So my question is, it's first off, it's a duet.
Oh yeah.
Him and Goose are alternating lines.
Yeah.
It's between the two of them. It's been rehearsed. Like, that's the worst part. But my question is, why that song? That's not like a love song. That's a song of being like, you don't love me anymore. Isn't that what that song is about?
Or is it like, you're lonely, you need somebody, hey, it's Tom Cruise. I don't know. I didn't get it.
Yeah, like,
And then, so to top it off, right? It starts off pretty cheesy and pretty bogus, just with the two of them, and then the entire bar with all the other Navy guys start singing too.
as
And
if this happens all the time.
exactly, right? Like that. I know it's a movie, but it's like, how often do you guys do this? Is it a Tom Cruise thing? Like, is it Maverick hitting on all these girls? I feel like Maverick's hitting on all these girls.
Yeah,
That's his thing. That's his in.
yeah, but so my question is,
Bar.
they establish he's not from there.
No,
Like,
exactly.
he's just there for the school. Yeah,
Is this
so
a Navy thing? Do Navy guys do this?
yeah, like, yeah, I don't know. Like, I have never been in a bar where if somebody starts singing, the whole crowd will join in. But
No.
they knew, so it wasn't just that they joined in on the lyrics. All the people in the background started doing the
Yeah. Yeah.
like they sang the song.
It was a musical number in the bar
Yeah, I've never.
worst song of all time, too, man.
Yeah,
So like movies nowadays do that too, right? Everybody will break out in a song, like that's a thing. But I feel like the songs that they choose now are so much better. Like You've Lost Your Love and Feeling, and like at some other point, when Meg Ryan shows up, they all sing Great Balls of Fire
yeah.
in the bar. Like, and I don't know, like that song doesn't really hold up. Like great, like I don't hear anybody listen to Great Balls of Fire anymore. There's other classic 80s songs that they could have done, or 70s songs. But no, they did You've Lost That Love and Feeling and Great Balls of Fire.
Yeah.
These guys aren't that cool, man.
No, not at all. But they're very well spaced. Like, it is a definite, like, Act 1 and Act 2, Act 3. Like, they were putting, like, where do we normally put intermissions and plays? And they like threw songs in at the right moment to, like, shift the tone. I thought that was quite interesting.
It was weird.
But no, I You're Totally Bogus is quite bogus indeed, and it is up there. That was also going to be my Totally Bogus, but I have two honorable mentions, so I'm going to go with the let's go with the first honorable mention. You kind of brought it up with the Great Balls of Fire. I get that they sing it, but Goose also yells at every time that fucking plane lands.
Oh, you're
like,
right.
I don't know, like, or like every time something goes on, he's like, Great Balls of Fire. Even when they messed up and lost, he yelled it. Like,
did you catch the part? Sorry, did you catch the part where like they're having a conversation or something, and I think it was Goose who's like, "That's making me totally hard," and then they just keep talking like he didn't even say it. Goose is a weird dude, man.
Goose is definitely a weird guy.
Jeremy's favorite part of the movie is when Goose dies.
Yeah. Where he bites it into his own ejector seat.
Bad way to go, man.
Definitely a bad way to go. So yeah, him yelling Great Balls of Fire for no apparent reason. Or like if you're sexy, you'd be like, yeah, woohoo. Instead, he yells Great Balls of Fire. Which I didn't even think that song was that popular at the time, but apparently it was.
You know what? Didn't they have wasn't there like a Jerry Lee Lewis movie around this time too?
That may have been where it kind of came from. Like
it was kind of relevant again. Kind of like how like Queen is maybe a little more popular right now because of Bohemian Rhapsody, or Elton John songs are a little bit more in the forefront because there's an Elton John movie. Like, I don't know how the timing works exactly, but maybe Jerry Lee Lewis was big in '86. I don't know.
Maybe we'll have to actually do some research on that, because
we should watch Balls of Fire.
We'll do it. But
scary.
My actual like totally bogus moment is the last. I think it's the last line of the movie between Val Kilmer and Tom Cruise, where he's like, "You could be my wingman any day," and Tom Cruise's retort is, "No, you can be my wingman." Like, it is the most. It is like if I had some '80s like cheese cracker to put that '80s cheese on, just nom nom nom. Like, it is such a weird, awkward, like, we just became friends line. Like, ugh.
The only way it could have been more bogus is if they took off their shirts and started playing volleyball again.
They needed to pan over and show that they have a volleyball net on the aircraft carrier.
Ready to go, man.
Yeah, the net's ready, and he's like, "You got next?
You gonna play?"
Yeah. So there's one other thing though that we have to talk about, because this movie has its theme song. It has a theme song.
It does.
Danger Zone by Kenny Loggins.
Freaking Loggins, baby. Yeah. Like, that song is a classic. That song's better than Great Balls of Fire or You've Lost That Love and Feeling.
Yeah.
More iconic, which is funny, right? Like, that soundtrack, though, man, that soundtrack's fire.
Yeah, it's good.
The song that I didn't realize was from that, or was from Top Gun, was Take My Breath Away. I literally had to Google it. And I'm like, did they just put this in there, or is this actually like an original song for Top Gun? And yeah, it's an original song for Top Gun.
So it had two like
Super
major hits, iconic songs made just for the movie that like we still don't like. I don't go out of my way to watch this movie, but like I hear those songs. I hear Highway to the Danger Zone on any radio station. I do not change the channel.
It's like that song that they're playing in the waiting room at the dentist office every time I'm there. I feel like whatever like easy listening station that my dentist is totally jamming to all day long, they just love themselves some Kenny Loggins. I don't know. So I kind of had a crazy idea. So for the Totally Rad Movie podcast, I was thinking that I was inspired by Kenny Loggins that we should create a Totally Rad Spotify playlist with all of our favorite songs from these movies we're watching. What do you think?
I like that.
All right. So first up is going to be Danger Zone from Top Gun. I will create the Spotify playlist later this week, and we will share it out. That way we can start. If you guys got other ideas of things that need to be on there, like if you think Take My Breath Away needs to be on there, let us know. We'll add it to the Spotify playlist. That way we all can listen to some awesome 80s music whenever we want.
And so here's what we'll have to do is each movie we want to go on, and let's grab a couple of songs. Yeah, we'll grab a couple of songs off of it and drop it on. So we'll have an ongoing Spotify playlist and we'll say an ever-growing Spotify playlist.
Living playlist.
Yeah, like a living playlist of all the best songs from the movies that we're watching. I can't even keep a straight face. It's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be fun, dude. All right, so this is a good time to. I know we still got to rank it. We got some other stuff, but we got some big plans for this podcast.
Yes, we do.
I feel like Scott and I are both pretty good at coming up with ridiculous ideas. Well, like we're not going to give away too much, but stay tuned. There's going to be some crazy stuff coming. We've got merch ideas that are going to blow you away that you're going to want to get. Look, Scott's already got a Totally Rad movie podcast drink coaster right there. So we got more stuff coming, so stay tuned. I've got some really cool ideas, guys.
Yeah, I think we're going to have some fun with this. We'll just put it that way.
It's supposed to be dumb.
Yeah.
Like so we chose like a fairly serious movie to start off with.
Yeah, we didn't choose good on terms of the dumb 80s. Like it's full of 80s cheese now that I watch it. But
I thought it was like more serious and all that, but no, it was pretty crappy.
It's on that point, but
should we rank it?
Yeah, so let's rank it, but I'll say like our upcoming one is going to be better, I promise. So all right, so let's go.
So to find out what's next, y'all.
Yes. So now, Larry, let's go through our as tradition out of 5, but we're going to add a little kind of asterisk to this. This is a 5 for kind of 80s movie quality, right? We cannot compare this to like new.
No, God, you can't compare this to Avengers Endgame like we would talk about.
Right. So,
these guys. No, this is a whole nother kind of ranking. I'm just going to rank it like this is hard to predict the future, but like I just want to rank these based on how much I enjoyed it. Right, 5 out of 5 means like it was a good movie, it held up, I really enjoyed it. 1 out of 5 means it's totally garbage.
Yeah,
so go for it.
Oh, I was gonna say I totally agree. Like we're going off of enjoyability and not actual movie quality.
Like, it could be a horrible movie and it's going to get 5 out of 5. It could be a fairly okay critically acclaimed movie like Top Gun for some reason, and we might give it a 1 out of 5. But no, I'm not going to give Top Gun a 1 out of 5, guys. Larry from the SDS Guys and the Totally Rad Movie Podcast, my official ranking for Top Gun is a whopping 2 out of 5.
Boom!
He was right, man. I hate to admit it, but this movie wasn't very good.
Yeah. Well, I am going to give this movie a 5 out of 5 for military recruiting. But no, I'm kind of right there with you. I'm putting it at a 50%. Yeah, flat out two and a half.
Yeah.
It's a good 50% for me. It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great. It is. It's
At
right
no
there.
point, at no point was I like, oh my god, I want to turn this off. So there's that. Like
Yeah.
it was watchable.
Now we can actually go in and watch the sequel with confidence that Larry
Yes.
knows what's going on.
Oh, yes, just wait. I'm not sure when it comes out. I think it's next summer.
Yeah.
It's probably like STS Guys episode 125. We are going to be talking Top Gun Maverick.
Just for you, Jeremy.
You, Jeremy, and Nate.
So Larry,
Scott. All four of us.
so Larry, can I just go ahead and just drop the spoiler for our next the next movie that we're gonna do?
Yes. So, like I said, this one was a little serious, but Scott came up with a gem for episode 2.
Yeah. So I am finding out the year, but we are gonna go with Theodore Rex. I don't know if you guys remember this movie. It was Whoopi Goldberg, who's a cop in the future, whose partner is a dinosaur.
God, it's going to be awesome.
It is probably one of the worst movies of all time. It's at the tipping point of our year, though. It's a 1995 movie, so it is
Really?
we're going from kind of middle of our limit to the top. But I think that one is going to be great. Larry and I are going to watch this garbage so that you don't have to, and we're going to talk about it.
No. Please. If you are listening right now, it's available for free on YouTube. If you've never seen it, go watch it with us or before so we can talk about it together. So like I said before, we're still kind of working out the timing, but we think this is going to be a bi-weekly podcast. So in 2 weeks, give or take, we will be reviewing, a 90s classic that I've never seen. Big surprise.
I think I've seen it once, to be fair, like probably in 1995 or sometime around there.
I don't remember.
I don't remember anything about it other than it exists and it's bad. Like that's all I know.
Like Whoopi Goldberg, man, in the mid 90s, like Sister Act, Ghost, she was a big deal. I'm so excited to see her partnering up with a dinosaur.
Right. Yeah, I am excited. So cool.
Forgotten gem.
So
the point of the Totally Rad Movie Podcast, like, yeah, we're going to hit on some 80s classic like Top Gun or maybe like a Breakfast Club or Say Anything. But we're also digging deep for the gems like a Theodore Rex.
Yeah. Oh, and we're always open for suggestions to get started. If you can think of a ridiculous early 90s or 80s movie that we need to see, let us know. If we can find it, we will add it to our ever-growing list, and we will talk about it.
Like, it's surprising how long the list was. Like, Scott and I were just talking about 80s movies like one day, like at lunch for like 20 minutes, and we came up with a long list. So there's no shortage. We're going to, like, I was thinking we could throw some polls up on Twitter, let you guys help pick, what we're going to talk about next sometimes. Like Scott said, send us suggestions. We'll add it to the list. But we definitely want to get the audience involved. If you want to come on and be a guest, that's not off the table either. So just let us know, and maybe we can talk about your favorite ridiculous 80s movie together. It's going to be a good time here at the Totally Rad Movie Podcast.
Yeah. So with that, I say,
we gotta plug our stuff, man.
Well, yeah, plug away, because I don't know what you have set up yet. So go ahead. I'm learning this as the audience is.
So this is the first official spin-off of the STS Guys podcast. So just a reminder, if you're not familiar with me and Scott, you can find us with Jeremy and Nate live on YouTube every Saturday night as we do the STS Guys, a weekly pop culture podcast. We talk movies, Marvel TV shows. We even did an entire episode about the PBS Kids show Arthur.
My favorite.
It was a good one, man. So you can check out the STS Guys. We're on Twitter and Instagram at STS Guys. And then you can follow the Totally Rad Movie Podcast on Instagram and Twitter at Totally Rad Pod. We just set up a website, totallyradpod.com. Everything's coming there soon. So like now that we're wrapping up this first episode, I gotta go do some editing on the audio, and it'll be up on, all the places you listen to podcasts really soon, like Spotify and SoundCloud and Podcoin. It's the best.
It's the best. So, Larry, we do have to say, anybody who's here on the live stream, please go check out the audio version, only for the fact that we actually have an official Totally Rad Movie Podcast intro song.
Oh yeah, we got a dope 80s beat.
Yeah.
I'm so excited to throw that on the podcast.
It's amazing. We don't know how to put it up on here yet. We're gonna try to figure it out, but it is amazing, and it will be on the audio version when this goes up.
Yeah, I might make a little video and throw it up on Twitter too. That way everybody can check it out.
Yeah,
and that way I can listen to it really, really soon. Can you throw that Night Bodega question up on the screen?
I can. I love this little platform. Actually works out really well. So Night Bodega says, "Are you guys doing more movie reviews on here?" Oh yes. Yes,
so
we
Manny
are.
just joined. Next week, Manny, we will be talking about the 1995 classic Theodore Rex, starring Whoopi Goldberg and her dinosaur cop partner.
Yeah, and her friend.
But yeah, we're going to be talking about super random movies. Manny threw out a good one on Twitter earlier this week too. He said we should watch the hot mess of the Masters of the Universe movie.
Oh, Larry, I can do a great thing. I'm pretty sure I have that on DVD.
Yeah, so that one's definitely on the list. Like we said, we're open to suggestions. Whatever you guys want us to watch, we'll definitely give it a shot. The more ridiculous, the better.
Most definitely. So, with that, let's go ahead and say goodnight to everybody from episode 1 of the Totally Rad Movie Podcast. I am Scott.
Hey, it's Larry.
And you all have a great night.
Play that music.
Yeah.
Play that music.
Play it all. There.